So, this has been a long time coming,
A very long time.
and I think much like our Bali retreat, it was a pipe dream. Um, Probably something that we said, oh, one day wouldn't it be great to host a retreat in Bali? And we did that.
We did.
And it was also, wouldn't it be great to have a podcast one day?
We're here.
And we're here. And I'm nervous. My hands are sweaty. Touch
Oh,
my hands. Gross. And I think when we were talking about what on earth do you speak about in a first episode of a podcast, I said to Marie, I don't want people to have to listen to the podcast for half an hour and hear the story about I had a salon for 21 years and I was a hairdresser and I was a beauty. Like you can read that on our website, you can read that on our Facebook. I wanted to more so talk about why you would listen to this podcast, what we're planning on covering, and what our themes are, what we are promising to do, what we're not going to do, how it's going to be different. But also, we need to talk about one topic at least, and we chose. We didn't really have a choice because in June 2024, we're talking about the economy.
We are 100%. We're talking about it.
And you can't hide from it.
No, and I remember sitting on the plane thinking of all the list of things that we could discuss. This just kept coming to the top, didn't it?
55 things.
50.
55 topics with about 10 people that we want to invite as guests as well. And yeah, it just makes sense that you address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just the economy.
And I think even just sessions I've been in and you've been in over the last, probably 4 or 5 months, everyone's been saying, but how do I fix this? And it's that, that topic that comes up all the time. But we need to go back to fundamentals and see, what are we not doing and how do we tweak things up in our business? Because I think you and I both know how many businesses do you go and you think, that could have been better. It doesn't need to be our industry. It's just the service is not up here where it should be. It's way down. And I think they're missing all the elements. And we can dive deep into those today.
Absolutely. But before we get into that, we need to talk about why you would listen to this podcast and not spend your time listening to all the other podcasts that are on this app. And I think the first thing, there were probably the two most obvious things for me was I don't want to listen to a podcast that goes for 97 minutes. I'm not interested. I can't be bothered. I think most of the people that I speak to listen to podcasts on the way to pick the kids up from school, drive to work, go to the supermarket. And unless you live in another state, you don't have time to be wasting on a 97-minute podcast. I think who could be bothered with that?
Exactly. It might be going to the gym. I might be walking. Like I said to you the other day, I did on the way to Pilates. So like you listen to them, you want it done either there and on the way back and complete. So yeah, it needs to be not long. I think there's relevance to long ones, but we wanted ours a little bit shorter.
Yeah, and I think we always project our values. I'm off the chart ADHD, brain, all of the letters and numbers. I get distracted. So if I know that a podcast...
I wouldn't have known that.
Yes. But so yeah, there's that. And I project that onto other people, of course. So I'm sure some people go, I love a great long podcast. I can really immerse myself into it and I can't be bothered. Yeah, so that was number one. I think we also want it to be real, which I know that like our new brand, it's fluff-free, it's real, it's raw, it's authentic, we have integrity. So we don't want to have, we don't want to have to show up and be too polished. And when we were doing the back end of this podcast, I said to Maria, I'm going to tick the box that has a layover of every single episode. It's going to have swearing in it because...
And I went, oh, really? Yeah.
Yes, because it's me and I'm probably going to swear. And I just think that's me. And
it's human.
If you don't like us, then guess what? You've got thousands of other podcasts and people to follow.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's my ego coming out. And what was the other thing that was important? The length. We're going to be real, practical. Practical advice.
We want practical, but we also want you to walk away with that's how you do it. Like that's how you fix the problem, not just let's talk about a problem. We want you to walk away with something that's solid that you can say
tangible.
Yeah, really tangible, and be able to go, okay, I'm going to go and implement that now. Yeah,
absolutely.
So 3 key areas.
Absolutely. So should we dive in?
Yes.
What a topic. What a topic to dive into for your first podcast episode, the economy.
Well, everything's gone up, isn't that what we say?
No, it hasn't actually, because today's Sunday and yesterday I took my kids to their sport, and I was on linesman duty, which I delegated. I said, I don't know what a linesman is. I have no fucking idea what offside, onside, points, goal. I said, so I got someone else to do that.
Of course you did.
But I did feel my duty. I had to bring the oranges, in halftime in a sports game, the kids have oranges and, whatever. $5.50 for a bag of oranges, and they weren't on special.
That's good.
And I was like, is that right? That's the first cheap thing that I've bought in about 6 months, where I haven't been blown away. So everything's gone up.
Except oranges.
Except oranges. Except oranges. What's going on with the oranges? I don't know.
No idea.
Anywho. But yes, everything has gone up except for oranges. And there's more people hurting now than ever, isn't there?
Oh, so many. And I think it doesn't matter whether you are in a business where you're struggling financially, or if you're a homeowner with several homes, you've got more to pay. So you can have investments, you can have not even be a homeowner, you could be renting, and everything has gone up. So when we think about clients and our guests coming into salon, one of the things I think, we often think as salon owners is they're spending less. Sometimes it's more of a mindset, isn't it? Are they really spending less? Are they pushing appointments out? And I said to a client the other day, we have to actually appreciate they're still coming in. They're still coming in. So there's so much happening, so much when it comes to the economy, but the clients are still coming in.
They're still coming in, but if their perception of value has decreased in what you offer, so let's say your average client's spending $240 per visit, if they're stretched financially, of course, they're going to look at all of the things that they're spending their money on. And if they don't see value in what you do, then yes, they're going to push out appointments. They're going to want to spend less. But if you increase the value and the experience of what it is that you do, they will keep spending and keep booking at the rate that they were always booking at. But you can't adjust the price. You can't bring your prices down, can you?
No.
That would be business madness.
No.
But you can increase the value of what it is that you do.
It's the little touches, Jay. Like I went and had a facial on Thursday night, and she is one of our clients, but I actually go to one of her team members, and just the little things that they do, like the eye pillow, the heated bed, put little socks on your feet that warm you up, like whatever it is, it's those little things. And whether they're add-ons, whether they're additional costs, whether they're just a nice touch, often those things don't take any longer to do they? It's just, it's like at the hairdressers when they massage your hair and they go all the way down the back of your neck. I think, oh, that was so nice. Like I needed that.
That's the difference though. Like, so if you were going to a hair salon and they said, oh, Marie, would you like a treatment on your hair after your hair wash today? You'd say, how much is it? And they'd say, oh, $25. You'd think about, okay, well, how badly do I need that? Compared to if I was to say, what are the 3 main concerns with your hair at the moment? Because I've got some treatments that you'd absolutely love, and you get a 5-minute head massage.
Sign me up.
It's being able to communicate the value of what it is that you do, rather than just taking it for granted that a client knows what that's all about.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I think there's so many opportunities that we have with every service. So, we often hear, a therapist or a stylist say, but I haven't got time to fit them in. And I think, well, you do, or book it in next time. So we need to think about the communication we have with our team as well, to be able to not only deliver that service, but also to make sure that we connect with each other, that there is opportunity and we're missing out on it.
But I think that's, I would say, is one of the biggest challenges. Of course, the mindset of the business owner sets the theme for the rest of the team.
Oh, 100%.
So if you've got a salon owner that has got that dialogue and communication that everything's gone up, people aren't spending, there's no money out there in our community anymore, then of course that's going to influence and filter onto the team. So, but we do have clients that they don't have that mindset, but their team does.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to be able to train your team in hairdressing, beauty therapy, injecting techniques, whatever it may be, but to have the skill as a leader to change someone's mindset, now that's on a whole new...
Completely another level.
Yeah, completely another level. 100%.
Definitely.
There was a question that I was going to ask you before about a service that you had recently. What was it?
Are you making out I have a lot of services?
We have a lot of services.
Right, I do.
Mystery shopper extraordinaire.
Well, I used to be a massive mystery shopper. I think it's the best thing you can ever do in your business is go and be a mystery shopper somewhere else. Maybe send your leader to go and do something like that. You learn so much from it. So much from it. You can pick at it when you go into a business and look up at the roof and look down at the floor and think, well, that needs whatever it is. But I think you can experience that as a mystery shopper. Yeah. What was the service I had done?
Oh, I can't remember. You have lots of services, but I think it does come back to just stopping and being hyper aware of what you are doing and what your team are doing in the business, and looking for opportunities to increase the perceived value in what it is you do.
Definitely.
That's as simple as we can put it. And I know that we've already mentioned that it is the small things. So definitely. I think, again, we want these podcasts to be really practical. It's about particularly with new clients as well, because the reality is people are financially stressed. There's more financially stretched people than ever. So what you could have got away with in your service delivery 12 months ago, you can't now. It's changed.
That's right. And I feel like a client of any business is looking for such a high level, aren't they? They just think, well, if I don't get it here, I'll go somewhere else. And there's a real theme at the moment. I'm seeing it with lots of our clients, the hundreds we look after, is, that the amount of new clients coming into every business at the moment. So obviously people are shopping around.
Yeah, people are shopping around because they want something more than what they're getting.
Correct.
And that's what I'm getting at, is that when you have those new clients in, we can't just say, what are we doing with your skin today? Or what are we doing with your hair today? We have to make an impact.
That's right.
And you do that not just by being better as a technician and doing a better service, because it's hard to be a perfect therapist, a perfect hairdresser, a perfect injector, barber, whatever. But to connect with someone and to deliver an experience, that's easy. That's what we do in the industry. We take for granted how impactful those first 30 seconds, 3 seconds, couple of minutes of a service actually are, that make that client want to come back for more. And I think I know that actually that's what I was going to say about a service. I remember you had your hair done at a salon in Geelong, actually, years ago, and the hairdresser said, "Hi, my name is so-and-so. Before we get started, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background and my experience and my credentials so you feel really safe."
Right, yes. And it was so memorable. Like, you think about that journey with that person and think, wow, like that was so good. Like, just took it up a notch, didn't it?
It was memorable because it was unique. It was different.
Yeah, very.
But it also, if she didn't give a shit about you, she wouldn't have went on with that spiel to credential herself. And I remember she said to you, my superpower, my specialty is color work. I absolutely love color work. And this is the training that I've done. And like, I wasn't there. And I remember that story. Yeah. That was memorable.
Yeah.
You know? So we have that ability and that power to say to that new client, what brings you in today? And this is actually something that I think some people don't feel comfortable saying, and some salon owners don't like, is Marie, tell me, what made you leave your last beauty
Yes.
therapist?
Yes.
What weren't you getting? And then I would always follow up with that disclaimer. I don't care who you went to or where it was. I'm not fishing for gossip or the salon's name,
No.
but I don't want to replicate what they did that made you come here today.
Yeah. It's gold, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I think the other thing is, and I talk about this all the time. It's, you said before, what are the three main concerns you have? We tend to dig deeper because it's a new client, but we forget about the client that we have. And you think about that 20-80 rule, like 20% in the chair or on the bed or having an injectable service, and then they go home and they need to look after their skin, their hair, whatever it might be. And we're not actually doing the rest of the journey. So when we think about opportunity, the opportunity knocks, there's so much opportunity when we think about, well, how are they going to do it at home? I don't know about you. I know you're always using bits and pieces when we travel with mine, but when you think about products that we use, I was chatting to Linda, one of our support coaches, and we're talking about brows. And she said, I use like 5 or 6 products on my brow. And I said, where do you get it from? And she said, who will sell it to me? And it's I go to that place for that one and that one for that one. And like there is so many products that we use. I can't think you told me, but it was just in the area of your eyes. If you think about it, there's so many things that we could sell to somebody here. And when you think back to asking somebody, what are the 3 main concerns with your skin, your hair, it can be in between visits. It doesn't need to just be, because you're new today.
But that's what, and I think if, the thing that we need to be aware of is that if we keep doing the same as what we've done, you still get the same. So we can't just sit here and complain that things have changed and not do anything about it. And I think that's a good point that with consultation, if you were to approach consultation, as we say, the holistic approach, where consultation covers what are we doing today?
Yes.
What are you having done next time? And what do you need to do in between? So today, next time, in between. If you adapt your consultation to cover those 3 touch points, okay, clients will spend.
Yeah.
Clients will continue to come back. And particularly for those new clients, and I think that's one thing that the listeners can do today is we highly encourage you to have a look at your new client retention and Absolutely. Look at the rebooking. If you have 10 new clients coming in, 10 new opportunities to grow your client base, your business, how many are actually booking their second visit? Because if you delivered your service in a way that just landed beautifully, rebooking's easy.
Oh, so easy.
And that's a topic for another podcast. We go down a rabbit hole with that. But, ultimately consultation today, next time, in between, and they should have a home care plan and a service plan. Now, you nail those 5 things, magic happens.
That's right.
Absolute magic.
There's not many women that you would open their bathroom cupboards and there's not stacks of product in there they've never used. There's not, like we've all got a lot of products, haven't we? So when we think about the journey, the service that we give, asking the 3 main concerns, thinking about what can get them back in, if it's a new client, I think we should maybe even share like an example of what could be that gold nugget of the second visit. And, what could you give somebody when they've come in? Because, yourself, like you go to a coffee shop, you say, oh, that was good. And then you go back, all of a sudden, 2 or 3 visits, you're a client of that business. You're a customer of coming in to get coffee. So when we think about our industry, what are something that you could do, Jay, to get that client to come back in? What would you do?
Well, I don't think there's any incentive that works better than just being authentic and real and warm. And sure. I think particularly, and I think that goes for your new clients and existing clients, of course, because they have very different needs for the most part. And I think it would be saying to your existing clients, how long have I looked after you for now? And I'll say, 2 years, 3 years, 7 years. And you'd say, well, did you know that in all of that time, you've only been a new client once, which means that I've only been on my best behavior once. So I'm going to go back to fundamental basics. I'm just going to throw a million questions at you and get really clear on what you're doing in between, what you need help with, assessing, just going really back to basics again, like your first time visit. Is that okay with you?
Well, of course you would say yes.
Yeah. So that's asking the client's permission. Is that okay with you? So that you can bring the service up to another level? Because there's that weird thing that, and you would have experienced this as well in your salon when you were on the floor, when you've had a client base for 100 years, like your own clients,
Yes.
and you go to a training and you learn a new technique or a new consultation process.
You want to get in there.
Well, yeah, you can want to get in there, but also sometimes it can actually be uncomfortable to implement that new process because you don't want to come across to this existing client like, oh, it's all business now, where you might get overly friendly with a client and it's chit chat straight away. Oh, but what's Mary going to think when I come in with this new consultation process? Like it's like doing a really thorough, structured consultation with your mum, like it's weird. And so I think people hold back on that, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
With their existing clients. But
it's like there's a difference between a new and a current client that you've got, and there shouldn't be.
No, there should not be a difference between your new client consultation and your existing client consultation, but there is. Yeah, absolutely is.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that I wanted to mention it wasn't actually planned, but a few weeks ago when we did our client planning event in Sydney,
yes.
I don't know whether it was you or it was me, it was one of us. We went around the room. Oh, that's right. We were setting financial targets for the next 4 months. So monthly targets with our clients. And there was a lot of chatter around the room about, the economy shot, we're already a little bit down, or, I'm worried that this winter is going to be quieter than normal.
Yeah.
And one of us said, I don't know, was it me or you? One of us said, I want you to write down the number that your last VIP client night,
right. Yeah,
how much your last VIP client night brought in revenue.
That was crazy.
So I remember because it was impressive, and I've told every client since.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I remember as well.
It was $3,000 was the lowest.
Yes, it was.
And then it was those two owners that I think you're hosting a session with.
Yeah, they did 36,000.
Yeah, it was 30 something thousand, 34, 35,000.
I think they did it over 3 days, but it was more they did an event and then let people could confirm next day if there was a little bit of uneasiness or whatever. I don't know how they ran it, but it was over 3 days.
So it was 3,000 to 30 something thousand.
Yeah. So good.
Over one night or 3 days, extra revenue. But remember, people don't have money if they're not spending. So, but I think that was more so, that wasn't to challenge anyone's mindset. It was more so to say that, okay, if you are planning out, say, July or September or whatever, and you have a team member missing, they're on holidays, and you go, I can't hit 60,000 for that month because I'm missing a team member and she usually brings in 10,000 a month. So I'll set the target at 50 instead of 60. Well, your VIP nights bring in 15. Pop one of those in there that week when she's away.
Yeah, it's really looking at your business and the peaks and troughs that you have. If you feel like there's a month or 2 months or a whole quarter that is going to be quieter and the stats showing it from year before, then put that in. Like it's not rocket science, but also I think thinking about, don't just go, oh, it's cold today. Like look outside and it's nearly just about to rain. But you know what? You can have a dull and boring, miserable approach to it. Or we could say our target for this month, our target for this week is, and get really, really laser focused about it. Add those VIP nights in. Add fun nights. Like I remember a client years ago and there was middle of winter and she was putting on hot soup and curries and things like that and bringing the clients in for a VIP.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
that was like about 9 years ago. But
Mm.
why couldn't you do that? Like, it's such a great thing to do.
Facial and a curry night.
It was actually a hairdresser,
Oh.
but it was like hair styling or winter color or something like that. And then, but they put the food on as well, and it entices the clients to coming in. Like, I just think you just got to think about it.
Well, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I got a voice message from a client in Whoop Whoop in the middle of nowhere, and she just did a renovation on her hair salon. Just a small regional town in the middle of New South Wales somewhere. And so she did a refit. She did a like a launch party, VI/VIP night, and she sent me some photos of the food and looked amazing. And she did 13,000 and something in that VIP night, and she was absolutely flipping her lid about it. Absolutely flipping her lid. And what I find, I don't know about you, and challenge me if you think I'm wrong, but I think I've found that VIP nights in beauty and skin salons tend to bring in more revenue than some hairdressing salons with, even comparing team sizes and revenue sizes. I've just seen that hair salons can still bring in good money, 5,000, 10,000, 30,000, but just seems to be a little bit higher, a little bit more money, and a little bit easier for beauty.
Yeah, I feel it is as well, but also they've got to think outside the box. Like, I think most of them have a smoothing treatment, most of them now doing extensions. I think if you could show people how and what is possible, that you don't need to have maybe hair down to here, you can have like I do, have it in the sides. I think there's ways that you can share that across a platform and then have packages around maintaining it. And I know we'll go deeper into this, in different podcasts that we'll do, but there's so many forms of memberships that they could be doing and of selling. So I think there is more possibility. They're just not making use of what is possible, but the beauty is definitely higher. Definitely. Yeah. Revenue wise.
So if we were to summarize this conversation so far, would you say number one, host a VIP night?
Like 150%. And I think if you're going to run a VIP night, let's think about how often do we do it. So like Jay and I, we constantly, don't we? We plan out the year. So we think about around that October, November time, we plan out the whole of 2025 right through to January. So why can't you do that in your business, that you go, I'm going to do a VIP night there. I'm going to do like a winter event there. You could do VIP nights constantly, but you could have different types of events.
Well, you could have your normal garden variety VIP night in Feb. You could do your end of year financial sale deals.
Then you could do Christmas,
birthday.
Yes.
You could do a birthday VIP night.
Exactly. But I think for hair, even like you could have themes. So it could be more of a winter, or then you could go into summer. So there's like different looks. I think people want to know how you get that look. So I feel like it's so possible to do it in hair as well. We're just not taking advantage of it. Yeah.
So VIP nights.
100%.
Looking at your new client retention and thinking, and I think we went rogue and didn't end up actually unpacking that one, which is how do we incentivize our new clients to come back for their second visit? And I think my answer to that was just deliver exceptional service. But we also need to have an offer. We need to have something to be able to say to the client, I loved looking after you today. I'd like to look after you again, actually. And we've got an incentive program at the moment. It's based around rewarding our clients' loyalty. And basically what it is, when you book your next visit on the day today, we book you in for also a complimentary XYZ.
Love that.
Yeah. Actually, Kerry, one of our coaches, she taught me this, and I've told everyone, and I do credit her, credit where credit's due. She did that in her clinic. So new client would come in and they would rebook that client on the day, even if it was for a lip wax, didn't matter. They would say, oh, Marie, we've got this program in place. If you rebook your next appointment today, it has to be today. We will give you an express LED treatment. really overly generous, but it gave the two new therapists that she hired at once an opportunity to grow, because they had their column full of clients having these mini 15-minute express treatments and having skin conversations.
Yeah, that's right. It's that opportunity of that second visit. I know often we'll get things made up, and I think there's so many people that we collaborate with that do amazing welcome packs and things like that. But if you actually don't take it out and show somebody, like, Jay, this is what we've got as a second visit, like, you're not actually going to get those clients in. So I think what you're saying and what Kerry's mentioned is getting that person and having that proper, it's the conversation, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
The conversation stands out more than just giving something to a client, explain it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was two.
That was two. Third would have to be mindset and changing how you talk about the economy, because I think, again, things have gone up except for oranges. So I'm being real.
I think they're in season.
I don't know. I don't know how it works. But if anyone knows, can you drop us a line and tell us what's happening with the orange industry? Because they were beautiful oranges. I only had one quarter because they give me the drop. So, but they were beautiful oranges. I thought, what's wrong with these? Anyway, so what were we talking about? What was the third one? Mindset.
Yeah.
It is true. The economy's hard. And I think even you and I have spoken about our business expenses, our personal expenses. House insurance has gone through the roof. So it's a real thing, but what are you doing about it? So I think it's challenging your mindset and going, okay, with knowing that every problem that exists in your personal life, in your business, has multiple opportunities to solve every single problem.
Yeah, I think we've been in like a worse situation than this, where there was no money coming in through COVID, through lockdown, and we still managed. So this isn't too bad, is it? It's actually that we need to think about things and really, really go, I've got this, and plan out our year better. Plan out, what do we need to do over the next sort of 3 months? What do we need to do over the next month? What do we need to do this week to change it? And talk to our team that way, and really, really change the mindset of thinking positive about it. Definitely.
Absolutely.
It's not
but you're
about
feeling
cutting
positive.
back.
You're playing footsies.
Sorry, I'm kicking you. Sorry. I think it's not about what was I going to say? It's not just about the cutting back. It's about working on how you can grow, because it's not, you can't go, oh, well, I think I'll swap insurance because I'll save $8. Work out how you can make 50, not reduce by 8. Like, make those really good decisions when it comes to your mindset about money.
Was not last week before. Got a beautiful client. Her name's Carla. Hello, Carla. You're listening. She put together some little offers on a card to give to every single one of her clients just for the next 3 or 4 months. And there was a retail offer. There was an IPL offer. There was a few upgrade offers. And every single client that she gave this card to, she would say, I'm going to write your name on this card and you can redeem one per visit. And look, this isn't a typical result. But she said to me, I had 9 clients in the day and 8 redeemed an offer that day.
Yeah, and you know what? I think these are the things, that's a nice touch that you can give to your current clients to keep them motivated, excited, and happy. Like, they'll come back.
Actually, this is funny. And I think we've all got a story like this. She said to one of her clients, oh, we've got this, we've got a skin needling option if you're ever interested in skin needling. And she said, yeah, I know, I come here for my lashes, but I go to Sally's salon down the road for my skin needling. And yeah, I'd love to come here. I didn't know you did it, or something like that.
I know.
And then the salon owner, like Carla, was like, my God, why? Here I am doing her lashes, which I don't love doing. I could have been doing her skin needling all the time along, and she was happy to jump across and start having skin needling with her clinic.
That happened in my business. I'm sure it happened in yours, and it happens in everyone's business, because your clients come to you and they walk in and they go in that treatment room, or they sit on that hairdressing chair every time they nearly come in, and they don't know what else you do if you don't tell them.
absolutely.
I used to always have people say, what do you do down that little hallway there, Maureen, upstairs? Is there an upstairs here? So I think that the opportunity we have is massive. So we need to make sure that we not talk about how bad the economy is. We need to talk about the positive outlook, the things that we can give our clients to absolutely nail these months ahead.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about some things around what's hot and what's not, Jay, because I think there's some things that are really hot at the moment that we need to make sure every single person listening gets onto, because why think about the dreariness of, the economy and, it's not, I'm not having a good week or a good month. What's really hot? What can we get onto and give them some action around doing something really simple?
Well, I think firstly, I can't believe your dogs haven't barked yet.
No, it's very good.
Yeah, and
Don't speak too soon.
I know, because I just heard some car doors out the front of your house, and I thought, I wonder if those dogs are going to go crazy or someone's here. They're going to knock on the door.
Well, there is no.
What's hot? Well, I think firstly that your dogs haven't barked.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm going to repeat myself. I think what's hot at the moment is new client retention strategies.
100%,
That
yeah.
is making a massive impact of looking at, okay, for every 10 new clients that you service, how many are rebooking for their second visit? Because it's a really good indication that they're going to be coming back again. And how are you incentivizing that second visit? Whether it's a scalp treatment and massage, or whether it's like that mini skin treatment, or whatever it may be. Like, particularly if you've got books with a few gaps, or a new therapist, or a new trainee, or something like that, that is hot.
So we'll thank Carla for that, and also Kerry that works alongside
Carla
us.
and Kerry.
Yeah, because they're great things, and you know what, it's a no-brainer, but do it. Like, why aren't you doing it? Yeah.
What's not hot?
Yeah, what's not hot? Not hot is you know how I feel about Facebook, but Facebook for me and getting into any of those channels with negativity. Oh,
I think
it's
you're
not
showing
good.
your age. The Facebook.
The Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah. Instagram. I think it's just, when you get into like Facebook groups that are negative and they're not giving the positive vibe, and then everyone gets into that spiral of it's a problem. And I think,
what's that old saying? I always get sayings wrong, upside down, back to front. Misery breeds company. Misery attracts company. Misery loves company.
One of them, and it's true.
And I just think, it's funny, a few years ago, we were having the conversation of, we've got a good amount of members in our Facebook group, but they don't say much. And one person said to me, because they're too bloody scared to say anything, because, they know that they'll get shut down by you if they're negative or put a bullshit comment in there. And I think, yeah, probably. Well, if that's the case, but I think just, I think that if you ask good quality questions, you get good quality answers, you start good quality conversations. And for a lot of Facebook groups, and I agree that there's just very, very basic ground level putting out fire bullshit conversations. Like if I see one more person saying, I got a bad Google review, what should I do? And then everyone jumps on board. You've got this girlfriend, you don't need clients like that. No, you fucked it up. Like, just give her money back and say, I'm sorry, I messed up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Pete? It's like people that sit there all day and watch the news and they go, oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. And I think it's the same thing. It's just a different level. Like, you just don't need it in your life. I'm not saying don't look at Facebook. I'm just saying, you don't need to get involved in that.
Or maybe don't engage with it.
You don't engage. You look at it, just go, move on. Next thing. Yeah.
Because it is easy to get sucked into a narrative.
Well, it's
I like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, not hot.
Not hot at all.
Not hot. All righty. So, I think we've come to the end of our first episode.
Sounds good.
And this is we didn't try this again. We just pressed record, and this is our first crack. And I feel like we've nailed it. So, high five. High five. I'm not nervous anymore.
Oh, good.
Let's do another one. Okay, good. Thank you for listening. Make
Thank
sure
you.
that you subscribe to the podcast, and we would love if you could leave us a 5-star podcast review and tell us how much you love our episodes. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.